Good morning, warriors. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Worship Warrior podcast. And let me tell you something. Here's the truth I can tell you. The truth is people lie. Right?
Yeah.
The world lies. And today we're going to start exploring those lies and start telling you why it's wrong and why the Bible and what the Bible says is true. I'm Michael Zapata. This is Anna Laura with You Don't Suck, College Does, episode 8. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it.
Let's
get into it.
And we're into it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've noticed,
You're
but
such a dummy.
I'm not only into this episode, I'm into a couple of gold pounds on my shoulder.
I literally had that for like a solid month. So you just won it.
I am literally the champion of the world as of today. So this is something we've been doing for a while now. And basically, Anna made this. Actually, it hadn't even been that long since we had the title.
Yeah.
The title is a new edition. So it is the Anna and Michael 24/7 tickle title. And basically, I am just the best tickler.
This is like the first time you win in like a month.
I'm pretty proud of it. I'm probably going to just keep this around. I don't know if I'm going to wear it the whole time. I don't want to just throw you off. I'm supposed to be humble. But it's really hard to whenever you're just like this good. This
God.
Oh, what? Anyway. You can mock me all you want, but I'm the one holding the belt, right? You can mock me all you want. You can say everything in your little head, but at the end of the day, I'm the one going to sleep with this around my shoulder. Yeah, that's right. I sleep with it. I don't care. I sleep with it.
You literally just won it.
I literally this is the best thing in my life. There is no, except God, there is no replacement to any. Like, this is just everything I've ever worked for, and I'm very happy. I want to thank my mom specifically, and my dad, I guess, for teaching me the ways of tickling. Sounds weird. I regret saying that. You get the idea. I'm the champion. So that's my life update. What's new with you?
Barely the champ.
What's new with you? Come on. Enough about me. Enough about the champ. What's new with you?
I dyed my hair.
You did dye your hair, and it looks really good. Everybody look at Anna's hair.
Thank you.
I love it. I love the red.
It's red.
The red and the black. Yeah, when we met, or not when we met, when we started dating, that's what you had first.
Like a month in.
Like a month in, you had that, and I loved it. And I've been like telling her like she should go back to it, but I'll put it down for now, but we'll come back to that. But anyway, it looks really good.
Thank you.
What was your inspo for doing it this way?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Harry Potter.
Okay.
And for my 21st birthday, me and Michael are gonna watch all 8 Harry Potter movies.
This is true. We are.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah. And there's a character in Harry Potter called Narcissa. Mm-hmm. And she has this like beautiful like half up, half down hairdo, and then the down part is dyed like bleach white. And I wanted it to be bleach white, but anybody who ever dyes their hair knows that that's like such a hard thing to do, especially when you already have dark hair. And so I just ended up with red.
So it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So it's funny because you did say that, like, you told me you were gonna go like white.
Yeah.
And then like you did for a second, but then it turned into like it was like it looked like it did.
Yeah, but it needed a second round of bleach, and I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, that's bad for your hair, isn't it?
Yeah, so I just dyed it red.
Yeah, I like it. It looks great.
Thank you.
You look really good. Also, just putting this out there, follow us on Instagram. We try to keep up with it. We've been slacking. I've been slacking. But we keep up with that pretty regularly. Keep up with the events We might have an event coming up in the future.
I know.
Stay tuned. We might have our very first actual event coming up. So stay tuned for more details on that. You trust me, you don't want to miss what goes on there. Email us at worshipwarrior99@gmail.com. Submit your questions. We want to answer questions. We want to get like more feedback, and we want to get just like, we want to hear y'all's stories. We really do. So what are we really talking about today?
We're talking about.
So I kind of started off. Sorry, I kind of put you on the spot.
No, I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
About how we think God can't use us.
Yes, so we're gonna start. So this is still You Don't Suck College Does, but I was thinking today, and yeah, it was today.
It was today.
It was today, but I was like, what is like, what seems to be like the pressing issue? And like one thing I can always think of that more than anything I wish I would have heard when I was just starting out was that these lies that were in my head, like, I wasn't good enough, or like nothing, like everything I've done to this point is just like worthless. Like that stuff, pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had somebody tell me something different. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about this. What do we think? So the first, quote unquote, like the first lie that I hear a lot, that it's like, it's very common. It's something I've dealt with. God can't use me. That's the one. So. Opening thoughts. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like you've just been so broken and that God can't use you?
For surezies.
Yeah, for surezies. For surezies is the word that she's been using for like a couple weeks now.
Yeah, it's if you don't know, every like 3 months I'll zoom in on a word.
But you don't invent the word. You just zoom in on one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the new one that you got from Adventure Time.
I didn't get it. Whatever. I'm not gonna start.
Anyway.
But for surezies.
Yeah, for sure.
If anything, that's like the first big hurdle I had to jump through. I think I'm still jumping through it.
Mm-hmm. It's like a slow-mo jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's one of the, like, honest. If I'm being honest with you, like, the mind is so powerful and so, like, complex
and messed up.
Like. This, if you struggle with this, it's gonna be really difficult to never struggle with it again. It's possible. I 100% believe it, but it's a battle, and I'm really grateful for just like the amount of attention and awareness that mental health gets now. Because I remember a time when it didn't, and that's when it was really hard to explain what was happening. Because people just really didn't see what was happening. You can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
So this kind of goes on with that. I want to start off today, before we go any further, with a Bible verse. If you're following along, we're going to be in Psalms 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. To me, this is really uplifting. Do you know any specific times, let's get a little more specific, where you've kind of felt crushed in spirit? Because that's such a big statement. It's like my whole spirit is just in shambles.
For sure it is.
Do you have any of those you'd want to share? Because like I can see, it gets pretty touchy, right?
Yeah, it's pretty touchy.
Yeah. So we'll go with, I'll start.
Yeah, you started off. So I get a sense of level.
Yeah, so a sense of like, you don't want to share too much, right? That's always the thing. I would say that this specific topic, and it goes in a little bit more with my testimony, which, I mean, if you don't know, like, I really did struggle a lot with self-esteem. And there was a point in my life where it just kind of seemed like I hit a glass ceiling. I really didn't have any motivation. It really was crushing, and it was like early in college. That was around the time where I was like, this is supposed to be like an embark on a new adventure kind of thing. Embark. Didn't mean to do that. But it really wasn't. It was more of a kind of slow decline in stability
in your mental health.
In my mental health. And it really didn't culminate into anything until I was a junior, maybe, and even then it was a little shaky. And then now, I'm finally starting to come out and do things,
Yeah.
So it's been a process, but feeling crushed in the spirit, there's been many times in my life where that's been true, and like it's happened on many, like it just varies. Like maybe it's been because of me, stuff I've been through, seeing other people go through things. Another big one is death. That's always a really hard thing to cope with. And, not to get too much into it, but, dealing with that, like when I dealt with the loss of my grandfather, that was my first big death in my family, as far as like someone I was close to. And that was, you don't really get more heartbroken than that. And it's, and like you have some experience with that. You don't have to go into it if you don't want to, but there's like, basically what I'm saying is there's going to be so many times in your life where life hits you. And you're going to feel like this in Psalms 34:18. But the good news is, at least for me, there's always someone that can uplift you. Because he's already up. He's just like, get up here, boy. What are you doing down there?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? That's kind of where I put the bar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good bar.
Thank you.
I think I agree. When there's a death in your family, oof.
Yeah.
It's like such a sadness. I don't think the sadness ever really goes away either.
Yeah.
I think it gets better with time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you can recall it one day and not cry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But,
even that, like, I still haven't found that day.
Yeah.
I've talked to you a little bit about it, and I can't do it without tearing up just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure, Z's.
But
it's so sad. It really feels like there's no coming back from it.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
go ahead.
that was a big soul crushing moment. And I lost my little cousin, Bolito.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess another soul crushing moment is like, I think I want to say like when your choices are taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to say.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah.
How much do you want to say on that topic? Because I know. What? Because I know all about that.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure the people are mad curious now.
Well, because when you say soul crushing, the first thing that pops into your head is the most traumatizing moment of your entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what was that for you?
Wow. To be honest with you, I've had a really, really blessed life.
Yeah.
I haven't had too many things I could say have been traumatic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I guess death was the biggest one. If not,
that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
If not that, just the first thing that always comes to my mind is like what I said, just like with my mental health, and that was just something where it was just the reason it was so crushing was because, and the reason it was usually is because like you just feel like you can't get out. I'll never forget that feeling, and I wrote so many poems about it and songs because I'm a songwriter and I'm a musician. So just if you look through my notes, and I remember showing you.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like a wormhole of just like after you're done, you ask me, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because it's you don't feel like you can get out of that state. You don't feel like you can do anything. You don't feel like there's anything that you can do to reach the next level. You feel like you're gonna be stuck where you are the rest of your life. And honestly, for a while there, I was like, what is the point of life anyway then,
Yeah. For sure, Z's.
Yeah.
But I will say, as Michael showed me his notes, right? And I will say, as it got progressively darker, it reached a really dark point in his like music and poems and stuff.
Yeah.
But then as he was reading the newer ones, they were becoming increasingly more positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could kind of see his mental state going, like deteriorating. and then just really blossoming.
Yeah, I
at
wish
the
I had
same
my phone
time.
with me. But yeah, dude, that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and lately it's been nothing but positive. I mean, and that's a blessing. And it's always so interesting though, because sometimes, you know, talking like this is just like interesting because I'm a musician, but like, you know, a lot of the greatest songs, this is like a popular thing. A lot of the greatest songs are written from pain. And so I always kind of felt also like, you know, if I was going to be a songwriter, I had to feel pain kind of thing, you know, they kind of go hand in hand. That's not really true.
Yeah.
But that was kind of what I thought for a long time. And I was always worried that, like, you know, if I get better, I'm not going to be as creative. That was actually a real thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But that's also a lie, by the way.
Yeah.
And our creativity is not from pain. Our creativity, you know, that's a gift from God. And that's one of the biggest things I had to turn on in my mind, was that these aren't the things, you know, I was given this because I am chosen by God and because I favor him in my life. And that was the biggest mental change for me, was when you started realizing, no, it's not because of my failure, or like not because of my feelings of, like, you know, just deep sadness that are like pushing me to be more creative. It's because God's there and he has his hand on me even here, even when I can't see it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So if you're out there and, you know, you have, you know, that sense of like, you know, if I change, I'm going to be different in a bad way. I'm going to lose something of myself. I promise you that's not true. I'm living proof. I've gotten so much better. More than I thought, you know, I've been in such a better place, and I can see myself only getting more spiritually grown from here. You know, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
And, you know, the more you grow in it, the more things will come your way. And I never believed that. But I can tell you from experience, it's true. You know, and there's just a little blessings. There's so many things right now in my life I'm so thankful for that are just paying off. And it's just nothing but God and hard work, you know? And I believe these things are coming together because of my faith.
You planted good seeds.
Excuse me. What?
You planted good seeds.
Yeah. But it wasn't just me. I have to thank my parents. And I have to thank everybody around me. You know, it wasn't just me. Yep. So tell me about your trauma. Yay.
I will say.
Oh, no names also.
Oh, well, duh.
Yeah,
What am I
okay.
going to say?
Yeah.
Okay. There's been 2 times where I've... 3. But I told you a little bit about my cousin's death. But okay, guys. Did I say it? What did I say it?
Hold on. We're going to make a huddle. Okay, and we're back from the huddle.
Okay, so
Take it away.
the younger years of my life were pretty traumatizing. So I was SA, right? SA?
We don't know if we can say the words, but you were, I can say, assaulted.
Yes.
SA, if you get me.
Yeah. It was like for a short period of time, felt like forever. All right, I want to say a couple months. That is definitely so crushing, especially at like a young age. I think it was like 11, 12. That is so crushing, and it's something you don't like. There's no timeline to recovery when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm 21, right? It's been like 11 years now, and it's still something that I struggle with. And I know a lot of people take a really long time to like kind of heal from it. But yeah, and then after in college, I got into a really bad relationship. And those things kind of went hand in hand in terms of like how low it brought me and like how soul crushing it was. I don't want to say the relationship was as bad as the SA, but it was definitely like rock bottom as I felt. And it got to the point where, as I talked a little bit about it before, I tried to take my life because I was really, really depressed. And it kind of brought back feelings that I felt when I was younger and going through that situation. So, yes, very soul crushing indeed.
Indeed, to put it lightly. And you know, I already know your story. And it's just one that always makes me, you know, my heart just breaks, you know, because I do love you, and you have a lot of people that do.
Yeah, no, I have a great family, and they love me very much.
Yep.
I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. So I guess my question to you would be, you know, experiencing all that, what can you say is different with your mentality now than it was maybe a couple years ago? Because you definitely have changed a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, on the message of, you know, God can't use me, I'm broken. I'm sure, you know, in that time you've never felt more broken than anybody, you know?
Yeah.
It's had to have been. I can't even imagine it. I can't. So what kept you going? What's keeping you going as we speak in real time?
That's a good question. I think even now I'm still struggling with it.
Yeah.
I think I've been Christian for a couple months now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm still struggling with it. I talk to Michael a lot that sometimes it's even difficult to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you feel like, I'm sure anybody who's been SA'd before or in a really bad relationship kind of knows how, I want to say, unclean you feel and unworthy of being in the presence of God, you know? So it's like the first couple of weeks, Michael was talking to me about praying and how it would help and stuff. It's just, it was honestly the most difficult thing I ever had to do coming back into Christianity. Just because being alone with God in your head, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. Having a conversation like that felt so scary to me because it felt like, it felt like I wasn't worthy, and like your head will tell you like, why is God gonna want you and all this stuff, especially because you hear a lot in the church concerning like women and like you know, like, so I had also had a very like bad experience with that in the church. So it was just very difficult to even get into praying.
Yeah.
Again. So now Michael's been helping me. And I've been trying to kind of get into praying and kind of having a mindset where I kind of have to tell myself that it's not true. You kind of have to like, you repeat it. You have to have a mantra. I will say, Michael knows this too. Mm-hmm. I also struggle with having these episodes where I can get in my head a lot. And so you kind of have to have a mantra where it's like, it's not true. Like, God loves you and it's not true. It's difficult. And I'm not going to say that, like, I can't sit here and say that what we're talking about, I've accomplished all these steps, because that's not true. Like, I think I'm barely like 1/4 of the way there. And I try every day not to fall back. And some days are harder than others. And, you know, some days my faith wavers a little bit. But it's day by day, and I'm getting better. So, yeah.
Nice. Very well said. That was really good. I will say one thing. You're definitely farther than you think. You gotta give yourself more credit, man. Like, for those who don't know, I see this person every day. Like, so I just see them. You're right. It's an everyday struggle, and that's kind of the theme here. Worship warrior, being a worship warrior every single day, because you're faced with the same challenge every day or a new challenge. It's never easy,
Yeah.
You've just displayed so much toughness, and it just always inspires me, and I hope you get something from that, because and she'll never say this, but this girl, she's been through a lot, but she has just overcome, and it's not just you, it's because of God, and it's just your will to keep going. And you gotta find some inspiration in there, man, because like I tell you, I see her every day and I get inspired every day. Just the way you just carry yourself, and you're still in college, you're about to graduate in a year. You have a plan for your life, you're doing this, you're doing that. You have like super sick earrings you make. All these things, man, and it's just it's a good person to have on your team. Ain't nothing gonna stop you.
You're a great person to have on your team.
I just talk a lot.
That being said, sorry, real quick, I know I just blabbed a lot, but you just reminded me of something.
Go ahead, yeah.
When you said that like it's God too.
Yeah.
So when I was atheist, I was like, man, screw that, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd obviously dealt with like SA and like all this really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I was researching like Christian correlation to child abuse and stuff like that, and I came upon this really great article, and I remember, okay, this is gonna get a little sad, but I remember I would lock myself in the bathroom, right, and I'd cry for like hours, because it was a very bad time in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like 11, right? And I would pray, because I was really religious at this age. And I would pray, and I would pray, and I would be angry because nothing was changing. Nothing was changing. And so I stopped praying. And then as I grew up, I became atheist, etc. And I was reading this article, and it was like, I think it said something along the lines of, even like when you felt like God wasn't doing anything, Jesus was still with you, like even when you felt like nothing was happening. And in my head, I just had this great image of me like 11 crying in the bathroom, right? And I just like pictured, it's a little dumb, but like Jesus crying there with me.
That's not dumb at all.
And that was like the first kind of nudge I got into going back into Christianity.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I remember that.
Yeah.
That article, you shared it with me.
Yeah.
It was like, and that was such a big breakthrough for you. And I was so happy you found something like that. Because I know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that God has, placed that in you. And it's just great. I want to go to, also my voice is really scratchy. Oh, God.
Are you okay? Do you want some water?
I'm good.
I can get you some water.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll get one afterwards. She's so nice. Can we flip to Romans? We got to get some Bible in here. This is a Christian podcast. And thank you for your story, though. I really didn't expect you to go that deep into it.
Sorry.
No, that's not a bad thing. I'm saying that's good.
I felt like I blabbed a little bit.
You didn't, dude. You did amazing. It's just, that's Deuteronomy.
Sorry.
I don't know. I just love hearing your story. I mean, I don't love hearing it, but I like.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like hearing your story too.
Yeah.
Just the things you've overcome too, dude.
No.
You sell yourself short.
Romans, you got Romans?
Yeah. No, I prepared for this. You see?
Oh yeah. Took it
right there.
20 minutes as opposed to 25 minutes to get to it. All right. So, we're gonna read a passage Romans 21 is where we're gonna start. So how are we tying this together? Let's see. But now the righteousness of God, apart from the law, is revealed, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of God, through faith in Jesus Christ, to all and on all who believe. For there is no difference, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God sent forth as a propitiation. Anyway, by his blood through faith to demonstrate his righteousness, because in his forbearance God has passed over the sins that were previously committed, to demonstrate at the present time his righteousness, that he might be just as justifier of the one who has faith in Jesus. So, what's interesting about this passage is what you talked about is more or less like, so like, I don't believe you did anything to cause that. Like, you didn't sin, and then like this happened to you.
Like, that's not my
No
sin.
way, that's not it. What this is talking about though is more or less that, we can talk about being broken in different ways. Life happening to us, things that evil that we can't control, which is what happened, Or there's this other side of things where you've sinned, you've chosen your path, and you've messed up, right? And that's a real thing. I've sinned, and I've chosen a lot of things I shouldn't have. No matter what you choose to do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You got me. It's not unredeemable. Everything's redeemable. And that's what I love about this passage. You can be redeemed no matter what happens to you or no matter what you do. Both sides, you're clear, dude. You're good. It's like whenever you're in the line from McDonald's and you're ordering, you're like, I'm just hungry, and it's like, I'm gonna cheat today, so I want a number 3, and I want a number 4, and I want a number 7. Just like on the 600-pound life people.
We watch a lot of 600-pound life.
And they're just like, you're just like, I just want some food. I'm gonna order myself, but you don't have the money for it.
Oh, that's so true.
And then like you order and you go to the drive-through window and they're like, ma'am, it's already been paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I picture about Jesus. I'm just like, thank you, God, and I eat my cheeseburger.
Oh, wow, that's such a good comparison.
You never heard that before?
No.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
I've never heard that before.
And it's like, wow, what did I do to earn this? Nothing. You didn't do anything. That's amazing. You didn't do anything. You shouldn't be eating any of that.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, really. And so that's what I want to leave before we transition. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Because now it is time for Anna's fun fact of the day, as we go into what Anna has to say that is fun for us today.
Yeah, it is.
What are you doing?
I wanted to make a funny noise, but I didn't want to make a funny face.
I like that. It's unfortunate your face is always funny. Oh! It's been better if there was somebody to react to that.
I have a couple really good ones.
All right. Give us your best one.
Can we do 2?
Ooh, a double?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to change it up. Today is Anna's double fun fact of the day. Go for it. Give us the first one.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Astronauts actually get taller when in space.
Oh, I knew that one. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know. That's so cool. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. It's because of gravity, isn't it?
I don't really know.
I think it's something like because gravity weighs us down. Oh, I forgot about this.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like I'm always taller whenever I'm not the champion, but I'm okay with sacrificing a few inches because this gold just weighs you down so much,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah.
It's okay because I'm the champion. Anyway, go ahead.
I have 2 really good ones.
Okay.
These are gonna get you.
Okay.
These are gonna get you.
That was
Ready?
the first one, right?
No, there's gonna be 2 more.
There's 3?
There's 3, yeah.
Okay.
William Shakespeare had a curse engraved on his tombstone to prevent anyone from moving his bones.
Jesus, that is scary.
That's pretty cool.
That's smart though. Those bones are probably worth more than my finger.
For sure, these, yeah.
Right?
Oh my goodness. Like, we went to this really cool place where they have like Abraham Lincoln's hair, and it's like one little tiny strand of hair, and it's like $200.
Barely visible, but it's definitely worth the money.
We want to get
We're gonna get it.
Yeah.
We're gonna start praying for
it. Mom, for my birthday.
No. We're getting a Switch.
Oh, yeah. Wait, we're getting a Switch.
Her mom, for her birthday.
My dad.
Dad.
Yeah. My dad is getting me a Switch.
Which means I get one too.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
There are more Lego minifigures than there are people on Earth.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of Legos.
That's a lot of Legos. Have you ever gone to, like, what is it, Lego Town or Lego World?
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's like an amusement park in Orlando, like with Disney and Universal.
Right.
And it's like just Legos.
That's pretty awesome. So basically what you're telling me is there's enough Legos in this world for people to like step on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
For people to just like feel that pain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's horrible.
Every person in this world could have at least one Lego, and there'd still be extra.
That's crazy, man. It's a lot. We need to do something about that because it's just overrun with Legos. I've never been a Lego guy either.
What if they like come to life?
And just take over the world.
Kill us, yeah.
You know, that'd be really funny. And I think if we get defeated by Lego Man, I think we deserve to be defeated. We deserve to no longer be a society if Legos can come up and just take over. But that wouldn't be fair, though. It's like they just like build guns.
That is so true.
Out of themselves. I'm just like, well, come on, man.
How, like, have you seen the Lego movie?
Yeah.
What a great movie.
It's okay.
That is God's gift to this world.
That is?
Yeah.
Right. Well.
That and your smile.
Oh my God, that is so cheesy. Well, thank you for those fun facts. That was just a palooza of fun facts, I must say.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
We needed it
treat.
for this week's topic.
To a little pick me up. What do I do with this?
I don't know. It's your title.
This is my title. There you go.
We interrupt this message to bring you another message.
Thank you so much for checking out the Worship Warrior podcast, You Don't Suck College Does. If you're finding this episode useful in any way, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Zap Music, to check out this and much more that me and Anna do that are not podcast related.
If you want to stay even more connected with us, you can follow us both on Instagram, @Anatastic and @Zap_Music1.
Or, if you want to keep up with just the podcast, you can listen to it on YouTube @Zap Music, or listen to it on Apple Play and Spotify. You can also check out our official website, zapmusic.tv, to get all of the podcasts and much more at the click of a button.
Now back to the original message.
I think we're about to wrap it up, but we're getting close to time. I don't know what I kind of want to skip a couple things, but I don't know. No, I don't.
Why are you going to do that?
You're right. Let's talk about Paul a little bit. So let's talk about, oh, no, hold on. So we're going to do this first, right? Yeah. So have you ever heard the term broken vessel?
Yeah.
I thought this was cool. Do you know what it means?
Songs.
Yeah. Broken Vessels is a great song. That's what I was about to reference.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what this is from.
Oh.
So basically, a definition of broken vessel, a person who is destroyed or forgotten. That's what we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you're destroyed or forgotten, sad. Not sad, but like spirit broken, crushed, a million pieces, just like a bunch of Legos. And, you know, your spirit's crushed, but there's still more Legos than you. So that's pretty sad. So
what?
That's what we're talking about. That is a broken vessel. But it's okay because God uses broken vessels. And that's what's wonderful about it. So God can use you. Yes, he can. And this is amazing. So again, the song Broken Vessels is amazing. We play it a lot. So here's one of the verses. I'm just going to read it to you. This is one of the verses from the song. You take our failure. You take our weakness. You set your treasure in jars of clay. So take this heart, Lord, I'll be your vessel, the world to see your life in me. It's cool.
It is cool.
That's what you should be striving for, if we're going with the Bible, not even my opinion. If we're going with the Bible, so like, God takes our failures, basically, and he turns into treasure. Who else can do that?
Not Legos.
Maybe Mattress Mac. I'm kidding.
I love Mattress Mac.
Houstonians get it.
Google Mattress Mac right now.
Yeah.
Just Google him. Do it.
He's pretty
Just
cool.
do it.
We met him.
Just Google Mattress Mac.
We met him. We did it. We met a celebrity. That's pretty cool. So, but not even he. Okay.
Yeah, not even Mattress Mac.
So that's crazy. So the Lord can do that. And he can be. And what I like about this is, the person I wrote the song. So take this. I wish I knew the name. I don't. So take this heart, Lord. I'll be your vessel. So from broken vessels to his vessel. What better way to go? So the world can see your life in me. And that's what I love about music and Christian. This stuff, like, when it's not just like God is good, clap your hands, when it's like this is when it really hits home for me. One person who we can like look to as a reference is Paul, and that's what I want to get into. So I don't really have a set passage, but just I encourage you to look into Paul's life. That is one of the most redeemed mans in all of history.
This is true.
Do you know about it? Do you know about it, Mike?
Yeah, I know a little bit about Paul.
Yeah.
We used to have a mural.
Really?
Of Paul in our kids' room.
Yeah. If you don't.
Kind of weird.
It's kind of like an idol. Interesting. So basically, he was born Saul, and then he was not a great guy. I mean, he would go and killed Christians, right? And so, just like that alone is like, this is pretty bad. So I can, if you haven't killed anybody, you're probably okay. But even if you have, like, you're still okay, But, he became Paul, and then he became just like one of the greatest spokespeople for God, for Jesus actually, and God, in all of history, and it's amazing. And so,
sorry, I was putting my glasses.
You're good. And so it's really cool. So this thing I'm looking at, I'm just scrolling through. It's pretty long, but there's this really cool article about it. I don't want to go through all of it.
Link the article.
I'm about to link the. So I was about to say I'm going to link the article. If you don't want to go through the passage, I encourage you to do that. But Christianity.com, good place. I'm going to link the article, and just like I encourage you to look through it. I encourage you to just do whatever you can to get that mindset. So here's a couple of things you can do. I'll leave you with this, and then we'll talk about closing thoughts. But number one, we have to accept we're broken, right?
Yeah.
We have to accept whatever happened to us or whatever we did as fact.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do anything until you do.
Especially when it's you who did something.
Yeah, definitely. You have to accept that you're the monster. I've had to do that before. Like,
you want to huddle or what?
No, like just a couple of things.
Yeah, go ahead.
That I've done in the past that have not been great. You have to accept you did this. You have to accept you did those.
Yeah.
And then when you do, you can move on to step 2. And we'll get into what I did maybe one day. We'll see. Look for redemption. Again, it's harder, okay? It's hard, all right? Okay. Anyway, number 2, you have to look for your redemption by God's word. In other words, you have to have faith. You have to have faith that you can be used, that you can be redeemed. Number 3, what is this? Number 3, you have to, you don't have to do this, but I think it's really crucial. You probably should. Find a mentor. I think you should. And I still think you should, by the way.
I'm stuck on number 3.
We need to find her a mentor.
I'm actually stuck on like number 2/number 3.
2/3.
Yeah. That's where
also, these are like not, these are just, I just wrote these. So don't quote these as like, oh, this is what you have to do. But
that's where I'm
from
stuck.
what I've read,
yeah,
this is what I get from it. And you're kind of stuck on those, yeah. After you do that, here's something practical you can do. And this is like not, you don't have to do this like after you get a mentor. This is something you can just do right now. Write down everything that you think you are. It's something I was told to do. Write down everything you think you are, whatever it is. Like that, Find a Bible verse that combats that, and write who God says you are.
Wow, that sounds nice.
Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It is. It works. I'm a firm believer in writing things down. I write things down every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I plan out, and that's, that's the habit I've developed over time, is when you write something down, it's much easier for it comes into the world, you have to see it. So like I write down my goals for the year, and and I update them like every 3 or 4 months. What am I doing? And I write down my plans for that day. What can I accomplish today to make this a good day? And this is one of them. It's great. Write down who you think you are, find a Bible verse, combat that with who God says you are. And finally, this is probably one of the biggest things you can do, and you can start doing this right now for free. You can do it for free. Or for $199 if you subscribe. No, I'm kidding.
Just pay shipping, $5.99.
Yeah. Pray, but not just pray. Pray that God uses you. Because if you don't ask for it, it's not going to happen. And remember we talked about the importance of asking things? That's where it comes into play. Once you've learned how to ask things, you can start to ask specifically for things. And this is one thing you can do. Pray that God uses you. Ask him to use you. How you doing on that?
That's hard.
Well, I will say, he's using you even when you don't think it. He's using you right now. How's that feel?
You just scared me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
No, it's still scary for me. Pray in general.
Yeah.
Which I know is like, for a lot, it's just easy for a lot of people.
Oh, trust me, it's not. It's not easy, especially in the beginning. Mm-hmm. You're not alone in that. I don't stress that too. It's not easy. What you're going through is not. I promise you, people are watching this, and they get you.
Yeah.
They're happy because they're not the only ones who feel that. You are too. So be honest with it. It's hard, right?
Yeah, it's so scary.
What do you do? I'll be honest with you. I think most of the time when you do pray, it's because I'm kind of making you, or like,
yeah,
not even making you, but like just kind of like, hey, have you done this? And that's why that mentor is important. That's why that person you trust in is important. Mm-hmm. You can't do it on your own.
You can't do it on your own.
Those are things you can take away. Those are things you can start doing right now. Do you have any more thoughts? Also, thank you for sharing your story, because what a story. That was really difficult for you, I'm sure. And I just want to thank you for trusting this platform with that. Do you have any more thoughts?
Thank you. For being you.
Oh, yeah.
But, I guess I want to say, because we did talk about SA on here.
Yeah.
Just, right now we have like a couple people watching us, not a lot.
Okay.
So I don't know who's watching right now,
Yeah.
But if you've ever experienced being SA'd or any form of abuse and you haven't spoken up about it, it doesn't matter how long it was ago. There's no amount of time. It doesn't matter if you think that it was you, that it was your fault, because it probably was not. It was not. I'm telling you right now that it wasn't. Just go ahead, and tell someone. Just go ahead and tell someone. Because like Michael said, it's their sin, it's not yours, and you should not be carrying it for them. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and tell someone.
That's good. Mm-hmm. That's great advice. Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And pray. Even though it's hard.
Yep. I love you, man.
Me too.
Okay. And with that, Warriors,
What about you?
What?
You don't have closing thoughts?
No, I pretty much closed it for me. I like to. You pretty much wrapped it up with a nice, tight little bow.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch where you're stepping. Don't step on a Lego. And with that, Warriors, we're going to go ahead and sign off for this episode of the Worship Warrior Podcast. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. We hope you got something out of it. If you did get something out of it, please contact us on Instagram or leave a comment down below. We want to hear your stories. Again, thank you for listening. Have a blessed and beautiful day. We'll see you next week, Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. on the next Worship Warrior.